Well, welcome to Module 2. Okay, and this module I've called What Kind of Leader Do You Want to Be? Because we talk about leadership and we hear the title of the role, and we've heard of that 5 stages of leadership, 5 levels of leadership. I want you to move from position to relationship as quick as possible. Okay, some people will never go with you, and that's okay. But I want you to move in that realm really quick, because your influence starts to be impacted across the organisation. Okay, so when we think of what kind of leader do I want to be, I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. One, who's the best leader that you can think of in the world? Okay, and some of you might go, oh, it's Nelson Mandela. All right, it's a great leader of a nation and what he did, and we'll all have opinions. Okay, if I said words out there, your local prime minister or your president of your country, all those things would have an impact on you. Okay, and you would think about, well, are they a good leader or a bad leader? And what you're judging is character to the best of your ability. The hard thing about judging someone else's character is often you've got to look at your own through that grid at the same time. And so often we don't do that. We just judge other people's character really quickly without reflecting on our own in a greater way. So this module is going to get you to maybe reflect on your own character and look at the things that you love about that you do well in your character. Maybe you're a hard worker. Maybe you're joyful, and maybe you're honest in what you do, and maybe you believe the best in people already. We all have a dark part of our character that we're always trying to refine, and we hope that no one else sees it. And we saw that in the Johari window. We see the areas which maybe we're blind to that other people see. There's parts that other people don't see and we don't see, and we're developing those. But there's hidden parts that we know where we struggle, and other people don't see them yet. And as a leader, we're cautious to go into those parts. But the problem with as a leader is life becomes a little bit more transparent because your decisions become evident. Okay, you can tell a leader, everybody knows by, well, am I a leader? Look behind you. Who's following you? It's as simple as that. If there's nobody there, then you're not a leader. Okay, that might be hard to take. I'm the leader of my team, but as soon as your team gets to 3 o'clock and it's knockout time, disappear. And if you needed someone there a little bit longer, nobody's doing it. Your influence is positional. And I want you to move that up. And that's really going to come up to what kind of leader that you are. Okay. We're going to talk about this phrase called servant leadership, which in my world was coined by the person of Jesus out of my Christian faith in what I do. But it was also coined in our management term back in the 1970s, and it became very prevalent across the business sector. Is this phrase called servant leadership, which is putting others before yourself. It really sums up what kind of leader do you want to be. Okay, in your decisions, will it benefit your team or will it benefit you? All right, and I want to encourage you to maybe start there, but the end goal really you want to see, there's a couple of decisions you can make. It benefits me. My team just need to do the work. It benefits them, but it's going to be harmful to me and my family. It benefits them, it benefits me. We get win, win. We all win. So we want that. Okay, so I want you to think about your decision making during this time of servant leadership. We're going to think about empathy. Simon Sinek has some great stuff of what kind of leader and qualities of a leader, and he's a great leadership critiquer in our world today. I want to encourage you to absorb some of his material. And you've got Ken Blanchard's who's got some fabulous material practice in this area of servant leadership. John Maxwell, as always, is a master of servant leadership. And one of the things, I've read so many John Maxwell books, it's not funny. But you'll hear, that adding value to the other person. when you leave that conversation, when you leave the interaction, whatever it is, did you add value to the person? And that for me coins this: what kind of leader do I want to be? I want to influence by adding value to you. Okay, I do this video to add value to your learning experience. We could just type all this out and you could read some material, but unless you want to hear my story and where I'm at, I want you to see it. I want you to know that servant leadership is not something that you just talk about. It's something you have to live and exist in. It will affect all your other relationships as well. Okay, it affects my marriage with my beautiful wife. Okay, she leads me in some places and I lead her. And remember, leadership is influence. Okay, she's an amazing leader. One of the best leaders I know is my wife. And that's another whole story. Because when I was 18 years old, she actually was my leader for a number of years, even when we were first married. Positionally in an organization, she was my leader. And talk about needing to have grace and kindness towards each other. That, you know, we learned a lot in those times, and a lot of giggles, a lot of fun. But we learned about respecting one another. And I've led teams in multiple places since. And leadership is something that you do. It's not just the title that you have. Remember, it's a doing word. Okay, it's active, it's engaging, it's always looking to bring benefit to the other person. So this module goes through some of those things in our head, hands, heart time at the end. There you're going to see reflection. All right, your application. I've got some deep dives as well. So, you know, the reflection pieces, chew on some of those questions, you know, some application. I'm giving you some examples of what to do, how to maybe roll it out in your workplace, who to talk to, how to liaise with people in that space. And one of the things that I'll highlight to you and I'll leave you with is Maxwell talks about this early on in his leadership, and he says, walk through the halls slowly. And I'll leave that with you to discover why we walk through the halls slowly, and what do we do when we walk through the halls slowly. He's talking about walking through your workplace, okay? Not leading from behind a desk or a back office or the prestige location or way up there in the hierarchy. He's talking about getting out and being with your people that you care for, okay? And why you do it slowly, and what you do when you go walking. Okay, I'm going to leave that with you to discover, because I hope it becomes one of your greatest behaviors as well as an application of this. That in this next week, you're going to walk some halls, you're going to get out there in your workplace, but you're going to do it for a particular reason and a particular application. Okay, remember, add value in every interaction. So I'll leave that with you. I hope you enjoy this module. I love your feedback. Look at some of the material. Some of it's from me, some of it's from other people. But chewing on those application points and applying it in your world. I wish you the best. See you in module 3.